I'm just curious, how does AI facilitate that continuous learning? If I'm a rep and I'm hungry, I'm thirsting for knowledge, how can AI help me, especially as the market conditions change? I mean, you think about it, 2024 is different from 2023, and I would expect that 2025 is going to be different from now. How can AI help me there, as well as how is AI helping with those personalized interactions at scale without losing that human touch? I don't want people to see me as a robot. I want them to see me as the person that I am. I need your answer on both of those: continuous learning as well as the personalization.
So continuous learning is, I think, definitely where AI has kind of picked up pace in the last couple of years, and especially in the last 1 year or so. And we ourselves kind of focus a lot on that. Basically, what happens generally, I mean, we are all used to, like 7, 8 years back or 10 years back, everybody was used to sitting in a training session for the maybe in the initial period when you joined a new organization, and used to that training process. Whenever, let's say, something new has to be taught, you are either part of a Zoom call, which is off late, but yeah, at least you'll be part of a training session in a kind of training room, right? Or on your computers, right? So, but with times, what has happened that the retaining, generally, like it's a human tendency also, that the amount of data, kind of information that you retain from a training session is hardly 10%, even less than that actually, right? So how do you kind of actually go ahead and keep yourself improving with the information that is already, so much information already available there? Like, even if you imagine, let's say, typical use case, so many guys having different skills, very good skills. So as I said earlier as well, let's say, more than looking outside, it's also within the team that you can learn from. So how can you learn from them is basically based on previous data. Let's say what happened last year in your meetings, or I'm taking meeting as an example, considering the use case we are, the product we are into. So what happens is, typically when you do what meetings that you did last year might not be relevant maybe 1 year down the line, right? So your product might have changed, the market might have changed, that your ICP might also change to some extent, maybe some cases. So how do you adapt to that? So that's where AI kind of comes in, and kind of based on analysis of your previous data, it gives you, let's say, a package of learning which would help you to adapt to today's times. And that's how we see continuous learning kind of helping sales reps in their day-to-day lives, how they can adapt quickly to the new processes or new systems or new products or things that they are selling, doing to sell products or services in today's times. And what was the second part you talked about?
Yeah,
Customization?
it's the AI driven personalization at scale. I want to know, how is AI? I know that Tanner talked about the
Yeah.
customization at scale. How can AI assist with my team when we want to make sure that the human element doesn't get lost?
Yeah, I think so. Generally, when you are trying to personalize data, you look at two things. One is, of course, your customer behavior in the past, how they behaved in terms of certain aspects of the way you sell to them, or how they actually, some past behavior experience or analysis would help. So that's where AI has come in very strongly here, where instead of you going about finding information, probably there are a lot of tools out there which will help you to actually create these personalized kind of experiences for your customers or prospects. And that's where kind of one of the things we see generally is, of course, emails. But emails, there is only to a certain extent that you can personalize. So when you meet a person, probably you can customize to much larger extent in terms of how you pitch your product, how you present them. So I might be pitching the same product to a sales head, I might be pitching the same product to, let's say, a customer success person, I might be pitching to a same kind of a different kind of ICP with the same product. So how do I make my pitch relevant to that person based on their use case, right? So that's where AI has come in strongly, and we see that as a very strong use case in terms of personalizing the pitch or personalizing the emails, which has been happening to an extent. But personalization, generally people think it's just personalizing the name, probably. That doesn't help. Not didn't help 10 years back, doesn't help today. So personalizing has to be something without getting too snoopy on somebody. Probably you'll have to maintain that distance, but you can still personalize information on your emails, on your approach, on your the way you pitch them, what exactly keywords you should be using in your pitch. So we there are definitely a lot of tools out there.